So where would you like to start?
Well, you've gone in depth so much about Janet. I want to say my opinion on the Janet documentary.
I'd love to hear it.
I feel like I can literally hear the audience saying, oh my God, here they go. So I just finished watching it yesterday, and I feel like I didn't learn that much more than I already knew, especially from part one and part two. Part one and part two was just like, I know all of this. And it felt like it was more about the Jacksons and Michael than, Janet. Like, I want to know like the process of like her albums and like what she was thinking or what things she liked to do. But it just felt like it was very reactionary to the Jacksons' fame. That's what it felt like to me. And third part, I was like, okay, this is something I haven't seen before. When Janet and Michael were collaborating on Scream, I didn't know that they were like put against each other or, it was a different vibe or she didn't like it. I didn't know that. But the way they glossed over some things, like they didn't talk about, Bobby Brown or Tupac or like the Velvet Rope era. That was one of her most like influential albums, and they just went straight to the tour and the divorce. And I was like, well, what about the process in that? Like, she was like notoriously depressed during the Velvet Rope era. I wanted to know about that, but it was just like, okay, well, we're moving on. The Justin Timberlake thing, that was like a letdown.
And that album was just as socially conscious as Rhythm Nation. She talked about homosexuality in our community, domestic violence, mental health, long before anybody was talking about these things.
Yeah. And then like around part three and part four, it just like we're just rushing to get to the end now. Like they didn't even talk about her last husband, completely omitted him. We didn't see the baby like I saw in your review. I was just really disappointed, like I said earlier, about the Justin Timberlake thing. Like, that's it? That's all you have to tell us? That he called you and you declined? Like, what else?
Well, now they're good friends.
I mean, that's good. I'm glad she's telling people, stop. I'm not angry anymore. Like, stop. But her fans don't care. They're still going to harass him.
Harass Les Moonves. That's who did it. Justin did not have that type of power.
Yeah, like exactly. He had no power. He had his privilege, which he couldn't help. And then she also told him, like, don't say anything. I'm just like, well, that's what she told him. He could have been a man, manned up and helped her out, but he just started his solo career at that time.
And would it have made it worse?
Probably.
Would it have added more fuel to the fire? Because they were going to keep attacking her regardless.
At the end of the day, no matter what they did to Janet, she's still a legend. She just got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Nobody can take anything that she's accomplished away from her. So it is what it is. Overall, I would give it a C. I'm being nice. I feel like I'm trying to think of like Mariah Carey's book. Like I learned so much about Mariah. Like there was a lot of things she talked about that I was like, oh, I didn't know this. Or what went into the creativity of her songs and her albums and stuff. I feel like I didn't get that from Janet. It was real fluff.
Well, good news. Mariah is making it into a documentary with Sissy Daniels.
You lying. Where's the receipts? I didn't hear about this.
It was on the Allegedly show.
Recently?
Actually, I think we might have talked about it on here.
Interesting.
Let me do my Googles. November 28th, 2021, Mariah is working with Sissy Daniels to adapt her memoir into a TV series.
Well then, okay.
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I am, but at least not.
But yeah, I think you talked about Janet ad nauseum. So I think we can move on to the next topic, which was, I feel like it didn't even break the internet because people weren't even like surprised by it, but Rihanna's pregnant.
You know what shocked me about that was where they took the photo.
On 125th.
And the thing is, it's not just 125th. It's a really weird area of 125th. They do a lot of movie shoots there because there's this big bridge. And so you've got this very New York, very iron structural bridge that's giant above you. They've got the fairway that I always used to talk about over there where I would get my lobster. They had not Dallas BBQs, but what's
Dinosaur barbecue.
Dinosaur barbecue over there. I would always go pick up over there. They had a good Cuban place, La Floridita. And then sometimes there would be this venue that would sometimes be a restaurant, sometimes would be a club, sometimes it would be closed, sometimes it would be open. You never know. Then further up that area, you had Tahiri's failed club, Suite 135, and it failed because it's such an obscure area. Like, it's a place where you do not want to be after dark. Like, nobody's there, but somebody's there. It's just creepy. It's mad creepy. And like, even to be there in the middle of the day, it's like, only people cutting through going to that fairway are going, but now you've got the Columbia campus, so it might be getting more lively. But it is like the most mundane, odd area in the city. Most people don't even know that area exists. They're like, what do you mean there's a fairway on 125th? But that's where you do your pregnancy shoot? Really? They must have gone to Dinosaur Barbecue. That's the only thing I could think. Because why else are you over there? They don't go grocery shopping. I refuse to believe they ain't getting Instacart.
Well, it was an interesting spot, and it was a very interesting reveal. But let's talk about her choice of who she decided to have a baby with. It's just, I'm a little disappointed, but I mean, as long as she's happy, it's just, look at Beyonce, look at Nicki, and now look at Rihanna. Like, look at the men that they chose. Like, I know a lot of y'all saying, oh yeah, Jay-Z's a billionaire, but he cheated on her multiple times.
And he has that unforgivable face and thin ankles.
And Janet and Jermaine Dupri. He literally looks like the creature from Ice Age. Like that little bug-eyed thing.
I call him a mini Roland Martin.
They do look alike. But I know like ASAP has been a little problematic. Like, I mean, you can just Google the articles or whatever, but it's just like, damn, like what is it with these Black women with such like powerful resumes? Like they can have any man they want. And Nicki chose like a felon. Like Rihanna chooses this guy. I don't know. It's mind-boggling sometimes, but maybe the peen is just that good. Like you got these women who are like pretty much billionaires, and they choose these men.
You see, I don't have an amphibian fetish, so I could never imagine being with an ASAP Ferg.
Rocky.
I agree, the relationship probably is going to be rocky. I actually ran a poll on my Twitter. Who do you think his second baby mother will be? A Kardashian, a rapper, or an Instagram model? Let me know below. Well, Khloe's free. Khloe is free. So you got to watch her. I could definitely see on down the line.
Khloe did not hit 40 yet.
Well, she looked it, so I was confused. The thing is, those chicken feet hands look 56.
Yes.
Those chicken feet hands are fried hard and dipped in hot sauce.
They do look like chicken feet. She does have a reputation of stealing Black men from Black women, but if anyone knows what's good for them, they won't, cross Rihanna.
Just an odd days for a baby photo shoot. Just so industrial, so chilly. All the money you got. Why were you the ambassador of Barbados? Why not bring your baby belly to the beach? I don't understand people. You know what else I don't understand? Rich people who are in New York right now. What are you doing? What are you doing? You got all that money. You got a mansion in Barbados. I hadn't seen it on Oprah. Why are you in New York City right now with the cold and the snow? Why are you going to the frozen food section of America? It is 59 degrees today, and I'm about to get in my heated pool once we done filming. Look at that sunlight. I got out of the frozen food section of America, and so should you.
New York is the greatest city in the world to me, so.
It is, but during the winter, that's why you always globetrotting. Where are you going? You're heading off where?
Tulum.
Mm-hmm.
When this episode airs, I'll be in Tulum.
Yep. I'll already be on the West Coast in my heated pool, so. But Rihanna, like you've got a mansion to go to that you'd already paid for. Use it.
Well, also people are upset because they feel like they will never get an album. I came to the conclusion that she's been lying to us for years before Baby was even on her mind. So on the second or third year that she didn't produce an album, that's when I gave up. I'm not sure why people are still looking for an album from Rihanna. She doesn't make money from music. She doesn't write music. She can't sing that well. Like, she was like, look, this bitch Kim Kardashian, like, doesn't have a lick of talent, but she's a billionaire. What the fuck am I doing singing some oohs and ahs? So yeah, like, y'all, give it up.
Love is in the air. And while romance is great, it's important to give your brain some love too. Now, Best Fiends is my favorite way to recharge my brain, to turn it off and turn it back on again. Give myself a hard reset and just tune out from the world and tune in to some fun mindfulness. It's February. We've only got 28 days, so let's maximize our mindfulness moments. I am on level 2,643 of Best Fiends, the Bountiful Gardens. Now, this is a hard level, but it's also hard not to accomplish it with all of the themes that I've collected over the past few years. I've been playing this game for 2 years, and each level is different. Each month there's new characters. Each week there's a new adventure. You never solve the same puzzle twice. There's always a new challenge, and that's why it stretches the mind all out. So with new characters and new puzzles that are added every day, every month, and every week, there's always a fun event. There's always a new challenge and a special prize. It's a fun way to keep your mind in shape during these cold winter days. And if you want to play along with me, you can use code 202-5877 in the My Friends section. Again, that's 202-5877. Play along with me.
So Best Fiends is the mobile puzzle game that anyone can download and play. Are you ready to give your brain some TLC? Download Best Fiends free today on the App Store or Google Play. That's friends without the R, Best Fiends. And speaking of baby news, like the Brat and her partner, they're now expecting.
Expecting what? A jump in ratings for their show?
An actual baby.
So a jump in ratings for their show. Well, good for them.
They have a show?
Yeah, Brat Loves Judy. It's like on season 2 on WeTV.
Season 2? It got picked up for another one?
Yep.
Interesting. Good for them.
Once you're on WeTV, I ain't never seen WeTV cancel anything but that cooking show, The Pink Teacup. That's the only thing they canceled.
Wow. I mean, they really canceled themselves.
WeTV will beat a dead horse longer than Bravo.
Well, Nick Cannon also has another baby. He's expecting one. At this point, you know, the women are just at fault as he is. If they are willing participants in his, you know, vanity project of insemination, then it is what it is. I don't care anymore.
He said he feels out of control. When he had his 8th child, he said, I feel out of control. At what point does it become unfair to the children where they're not able to know their siblings?
Right. So this is the article. Nick Cannon says his celibacy journey began after conceiving 8th child. He said he was out of control. The actor and comedian shared in October that he was going to chill out and stick to celibacy, vowing to try and be the best father I can be.
See, this is what happens when the gays get on prep and go crazy. That ain't that what he acting like? Girl, acting like he just got his prescription filled, kidneys checked, and is off to Fire Island. I've seen him.
Cannon shared that after learning of his baby on the way, he didn't know what to do and was trying to get a grasp on life. I feel like I was out of control, and honestly, celibacy did help me through the journey of getting one with myself and being able to deal with this.
I don't think celibacy is the issue. I think condoms are the issue.
Yes, abstinence. Just, I don't know. Like, despite the positive experience, Cannon then admitted on the show that he is no longer celibate, adding that he almost made it into the new year like he originally planned. So he's still fucking bitches. What was the point of the article? He quit after he conceived the woman, and then, like, I'm guessing now it's like, okay.
He had a 2-week run.
Exactly. I don't know. It's like me giving up alcohol for like a week. What does it do? Nothing.
Not even a week. You know, Monday through Thursday at 5.
I'm tired of him. Like, how much you want to bet he has a 9th kid this year? I'm calling it. By the summer, he's going to announce his 9th child.
I'm thinking 10th, but okay.
Okay, we will see, and we will go back to this video. So, Nicki Minaj is in the news. I know, right? I'm sorry. So, Nicki versus the City Girls. She was asked in an interview, like, you know, would you do anything with them? Or, you know, I've heard the City Girls have wanted to. Well, the interviewer said that the City Girls was interested in doing the track with Nicki. And then Nicki's like, well, I really don't want to do a record with people that don't like me.
Well, then she should stop all creativity, period, because whoever you work with, I'm sure someone doesn't like you because you're Nicki Minaj and you've made it a point to be unlikable.
That's what I thought. Like, I asked on my Twitter, like, is Nicki Minaj being unlikable, far-fetched or something? Who's that celebrity that's just super nice? Tabitha?
Yes.
Like, if someone said, oh, she's a mean-ass bitch, like, that's something hard to believe, you know? Like, in comparison to Nicki Minaj, who, like, you know, demeans people on the daily, I hear, especially her staff. Like, it's just not something that's surprising to me. So I think there was some, like, old tweets from the City Girls that, like, you know, they couldn't stand Nicki, and, like, I guess they were on Cardi's side or something. And, you know, Nicki, she holds grudges. That was her her thoughts on it. But then later in the day, she said, just had a good conversation with the City Girls, and we're good now. And I'm like, okay, well, growth.
But don't I hold grudges?
That is a very good point. And you're not a Sag either. You're a Capricorn. Interesting.
I'm close to the cusp, so I have some Sagittarius qualities.
But my main thought from this was just, you're Nicki Minaj. Like, a lot of people dislike you. Like, why are you surprised by this?
And you're not Missy Elliott. You're not out here, you know, trying to bring peace, kumbaya. You're not trying to be likable. That's not your brand. And that's okay. That's okay. You don't have to be likable. You did not to sell records. You've sold a lot of records being the person you are. Whew. I wasn't going to say person, but you know what? Growth. Being the person you are. And that's the thing. It's like, okay, you're a rapper. It's supposed to be a hard image. You're not supposed to be likable. Fine. But then don't be surprised when you ain't likable.
There's a lot of likable female rappers though out there. Like Meg is likable.
Very likable. But that isn't the path Nicki chose. Nicki didn't want to be likable. Nicki didn't want to be fun. And nobody's saying you have to be. Nobody's saying that. But if that ain't who you is, then don't expect when people are like, no, I'm not rocking with you. I am not likable. So I cannot get shocked.
You said that you're not likable?
Well, the thing is, you actually know me. So you have a different opinion of me than the audience does. No, a lot of people are very much like, Yeah, if I saw him, I'd cross the street because they think that like this is like actually who I am in real life. And it's like, no, honey, this is an entertainment persona, but okay.
This is me. Like, I feel like you're yourself too, like out. Like I'm a little bit more animated, like on here, but in real life, I'm still like this around my friends. It's just like when I'm in public, I'm not like huzzah, like. But yeah, I get what you're saying, but I think you're still the same offline as you are online.
I don't say as many mean things offline.
Okay, fine. We'll go with that. So switching gears, did you see the premiere of The Real Housewives of New Jersey, season 12?
Yes, I did. And it was exactly what a first episode should be. It was a beautiful reversal from last year where now Teresa and her gorilla are in the hot plate. I really am interested in her dedication to the simian species. We'll get into that later. Marge has absolutely had it with Jennifer Piglet Aiden. Now, it's really interesting that Jennifer Aiden went all the way to Turkey to get Tiny's nose.
Nothing was wrong with her nose. I saw the side by side and I was like, why did she do that?
Because she likes to make a poor choice. I think she also wanted to try to keep up with Melissa, and she wanted to try to be as pretty as Melissa. And it's just, sorry, honey, that wasn't in the cards. And then also they seem to be broke, because Turkey is not more expensive to get surgery. It's less expensive over there. So you were clearly looking for a bargain because you got a whole plastic surgeon husband. Now, he don't do noses, but you got a whole plastic. You couldn't get a referral to somebody else in Jersey or Park Avenue. You would know you went over there looking for a bargain because you didn't have that tri-state area money for a decent rhinoplasty. You went over there and got something $1,200 and thought you could get it on the cheap, and you can't. I told y'all about having surgery at the Intercontinental Hotel. You go there for a brunch or you end up botched.
To be fair, she is from Turkey, and she was just like, well, while I'm here, why don't I just get, some surgery done? And you see her husband, like what he did with her body, because her body was snatched last season. So he did some good work. She said her husband didn't want to operate on her anymore because she was a terrible patient. I'm not sure what that means. But he did some good work on her body. And if that's his specialty, then hey,
Exactly. He could get rid of my love handles. But whoever did that nose, ooh, they need to be fired. But when Marge came for her, I was like, that's right. Jennifer did call Marge's mom a slut last season. And Marge said, I'm going to get you back. That's the thing. Don't talk about nobody, mama. They're going to get your ass.
I felt bad for Jennifer because she came to the party like waving the white flag. But Margaret, she came to that party ready. She had that little, well, I can't even call it a rumor. It was fact. She had that fact in her back pocket and she was waiting to go over there. She didn't even wait for Jennifer to come talk to her. She went over and interjected herself in their conversation and wanted to drop that in her face on camera.
And get the season started. Well, but last year, Jennifer was saying, oh, Marge was the one who started the rumor about Jackie's husband sleeping around with people at the gym. So it's like turnabout is fair play. Like this season, Jackie's like, I'm not going to say anything about Teresa's man, but everybody's talking about the video when last season, Teresa pulled up to the party and was telling everybody who had an eardrum, everybody who had an earlobe, everybody with skin. Oh my, if you didn't have ears, she would have signed it to you. Did you know that Evan is cheating on Jackie at the gym? And to me, at the gym means he's cheating with the man, because how y'all cheating at the gym together? How you slipping her into the men's locker room? That's what I heard. Maybe that's just the sissy in me. But when you hear somebody's cheating at the gym, don't you think same? Because how you cheating at the gym.
It's all about getting revenge on this season because Teresa was just getting revenge from Jackie from the previous season. So I will say that last reunion, Jennifer like got all three of them together at the same time. So Marge still had that chip on her shoulder, and she wanted to get her back for that because Jennifer dragged all three of them at once at that reunion.
In that tacky of a dress too, that was quite a feat. But I think Jackie is going to be very neutral this season. I think I'm going to start calling her taupe, because when she said, you don't want it with Teresa, and she said, I ain't saying shit else. I don't want it with Teresa. I'm gonna let somebody else bring that up. Give that to Black Dolores.
Black Dolores. I'm glad she dropped it.
What it now, Black Dolores, you see, this tells the truth. You broke up with David, and now Frank's down in Florida with some woman. That's what happened. You broke up the throuple, and he was just like, look, if me and David can't have our time, I don't know why you're here.
That is a very good point.
Well, that's the thing. A throuple only works when it's a thrup.
Who else are we missing from the cast? I think we said everybody. Well, Melissa is boring. I mean, it's so crazy that her husband has more confessionals than she does on her own show.
That is another odd throuple where Melissa is like the handmaiden, basically, because society won't just let Teresa and Joe be together. Because I don't think Joe really wants to be with Teresa, but Teresa wants to be with her brother. I won't hear anything different. That woman wants him. Now she finally found his taller lookalike. But oh God, did you see that video?
Yeah, I saw that video.
Oh, that was just so, there are so many words that come to mind, so many aromas that come to mind.
Right. Could you imagine what that, like, what it smelled like in that video?
Mm-mm.
Also, there's a new friend of the show. Her name is Tracy, and her husband is Tiki Barber.
And they trying to act like they didn't have an affair. They just should have shut up, because we can do math. We can do math. Now, look, we might have to pull out our calculators for long division. We might need a graphing calculator to do some XY coordinates. But guess what? We still can figure out 2 + 2 = 4. It takes 9 months to make a baby. So you was fucking with her since month 5.
I'm glad she already told on herself, because it was going to come up.
And honestly, I wish, you know what I wish had come up? I wish she had been on the prior season so she could have taken Jennifer to her doctor so she could have gotten the Whoville nose she wanted, rather than the schnoz she ended up with.
I'm guessing she's not full-time because she just wasn't that interested. I don't know. I just don't like how the whole episode, like, Teresa's business was everybody's business. Like, we would go over to Marge, we would go over to Jackie or Dolores. They were talking about Teresa. I'm like, what is going on with y'all?
We'll get to them. We'll get to them.
Yeah.
Well, Black Dolores is moving and renovating like she does every season. That heifer ain't sat still in a house in 10 years. I know she got to be tired of living out of a suitcase.
And just last thing, Gia looked like she aiming for a peach or whatever they hold in New Jersey. She is coming for Melissa in the next episode.
The thing is, I'm like, girl, you need to take that anger out on your father. It does matter. It really doesn't matter what your brother has to say about what your father did to their family, because it's what your father did. If your father hadn't committed the fraud, he wouldn't be saying it. He had to take care of you while your parents were, switching back and forth in jail while his parents were passing. You don't know what that did to him. I don't know why you can't be mad at your dad. Like, he broke up your family, his lies, his fraud, his tax evasion.
Exactly. I just don't understand how she would talk to her elders like that. I guess it's just from our generation, but like the way she was addressing Joe, even though I am not a fan of Joe Gorga, I was just like, that is wild. She was talking to her uncle like that, who basically is like her godfather and was like a second dad to her. It was just like, wow.
I would be like, I know you are angry right now, and I'm the actual person in front of you that you can take this out on, but we're going to have to calm you down, fly you to whatever island your dad is, and you can take this anger out on him because he is the one that fucked up your life, not me. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have it as together as you do today. I mean, we learned about displacement when watching Addams Family Values. Come on now.
So moving on, what is going on with Summer Walker? And what is she going through?
Mortal Kombat cosplay is Mortal Kombat cosplay. If she wants to be Sindel, then let her be Sindel. If she wants to look like what's that big muscly looking thing with the high?
Goro.
Huh?
Goro.
Goro. There we go. Goro. I kept thinking of the one that was the Sensuar. What was that one?
Ooh. Shiva, wasn't it? Like it was the female version, wasn't it? Or are you talking about the other one?
Oh no, Shiva, yeah, that's a Shiva do. That's a Shiva do, a Guru do.
There was Motaro too, but he was
Motaro. Like that was the I remember I would love to play Motaro because that back kick would really get you.
Yes. I forgot what you called it. Well, Centaurians or
Sensuar.
Oh, wow.
But he wasn't an actual Sensuar because he wasn't human.
Right. Yeah, you're right. But yeah, I hope she gets whatever help she needs because like she is spiraling, it looks like. I mean, well, her public image is spiraling.
I think she just had some edge damage and didn't want nobody to know.
Because like I think it first started when she started to look unrecognizable when she got all that surgery and she just looks completely different from when she first came out.
Fortunately, I'm too old to have surgery.
Look, you have people in their 60s getting like BBLs now.
I would get a pull. I
just want to get rid of these and maybe some Botox.
I honestly, I think I'm just going to age gracefully because we've seen it go too wrong where it's like, no, you were fine. I'm like, you know what? This is what it is. This is what you get. We're just going to try to eat a little more salmon, to get a little more exercise and call it a day. But this is what you get. This is what you get. This is it. I had my time being young and beautiful and it was, we had a good run. Do
you still have the Nene wig?
Yeah.
You still have it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Look at this wig I got. Like, I was supposed to wear it for, like, the anime convention, but what celebrity's hair looks like this?
Okay.
Or maybe...
Pete Davidson, the guy that was married to Ashley Simpson first, Pete Wentz. Yeah, you got two Pete's right there. Michelle.
Ooh, this is Condoleezza Rice, don't you think?
Oh, Lord, you said celebrity.
Oh my God. Like this one has so many like different Anywho, yes. I couldn't throw it away. I feel like I can use this at some point.
Exactly. That's a great shake and go. Oh my God, you know what you could use that for? Drag Race, when they bring June back inevitably.
Oh God. I need to watch. No, I think I saw your last Drag Race review. It was the J-Lo one, right?
No, you mean the sponsored by Marry Me. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. We talk about BetterHelp a lot on this show, and this month we're discussing some of the stigmas around mental health. Now, therapy is not for quote unquote crazy people. Therapy does not mean something is wrong with you. Therapy is about having the tools to deal with the complexities and the new challenges that life brings, to be able to control them and seize the situation rather than run from our problems. We've been told that mental health isn't a part of normal life. We've never experienced that before, but now is the time to change that. We exercise, we stretch, Why not take care of our minds the same way? I've been using BetterHelp just to adjust with, well, let's see, Pete's death, living alone, crossing the country, and being an entrepreneur. These are big, stressful things that are also, some of them, wonderful. They've all taken new tools for me to be successful in my life. And without BetterHelp, I wouldn't have those tools.
So BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist. So you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. Give it a try and see why over 2 million people have used BetterHelp online therapy. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and Pop Roast listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/roast. That's BetterHelp.com/roast.
So we talked about this new version of The Color Purple that they're coming out with. Well, I think there is some hope. Taraji P. Henson will be playing Suge Avery.
Which one is that?
You know, on my mind.
Okay, yeah, all right.
We're two of a kind. And we know she can actually sing because she blew it out of the water in Annie Live. I didn't know she could sing.
I didn't watch Annie Live. Did you?
Everybody was giving it rave reviews, and I saw some clips, and I was like, oh, you can sing. You can sing. So, and it's not like a musical role, but the music is important. So I'm like, okay. And I could see her having like a perfect run of that role. I want to see her take on that. I really think that she could play it. I think that that's perfect casting.
Huh. The Color Purple is going to Broadway, or it's just something they're going to do on TV?
This is a movie based off the Broadway musical.
Oh, okay. I've only seen the original movie one time, and that was in like a classroom. It's just, I was a kid and I was just in the cartoons and stuff, and I was just like, why are we watching this? Really? Does it really inspire like a mouth drop?
It's just like I've seen that movie more like that it's like I wouldn't say it's a holiday movie. I feel like it's more of a summer movie, but it's a movie that like got watched every year in my household. Like every year, like it was just on, like it was just there.
I feel like it's a movie I can't really like. Is it like enjoyable to watch?
There are parts of it that are really enjoyable to watch. There are parts of it that are hard to watch. There are parts where it's really intense, like when the thunderstorm comes. It's just,
when someone says like they love to watch The Color Purple, it's like they love watching Precious or something.
It's not as depressing as
okay.
Precious. I feel like there's more of an uplifting message in that movie than there was in Precious. Like that movie, like there's a wonderful happy ending in that movie.
Huh.
Like everything is set right at the end of that movie. So yeah, there's some tough parts in the first and the second act, but the third act is amazing.
Yeah, I've never seen it as an adult.
Oh yeah, that Eve's Bayou, like these are just movies that were just always on.
I've seen Eve's Bayou.
That's probably why I'm so damn dramatic.
You dramatic?
By the way, February 3rd, 1989. Today is the date that Vanessa got on a bus and went all the way to Baltimore to be with the wretched and have big fun. This is the day the episode aired. I know the show's going to come on probably the 4th, but we're filming on the 3rd. It's a Cosby Show reference. I know you didn't watch it, but I do that big fun. That's the episode where that came from. So today in Black History.
I know people are gonna get on me in the comments, and especially because it's Black History Month. I just said that I'm not really a fan of Color Purple, and I did not watch the Cosby Show growing up. So fine, attack me, whatever. So it looks like there's rumors going around that Whoopi may be leaving The View. Like we all saw what happened. And they suspended her for 2 weeks. Now, whatever you feel about what she said, like, Whoopi puts her foot in the mouth sometimes, but I don't think that was worth 2 weeks suspension, because there've been plenty co-hosts that have said something that was like very problematic. Let's just say like maybe Kelly Osbourne or Raven Simone, Elizabeth Hasselbeck, that porker of Meg McCain. Like, I cannot stand her for one thing. Let me just take some time out for Meg McCain, that fucking woman. Like, I know when she heard that Whoopi information, she was in her sty, rolling in the mud, clapping her hooves, just oinking in pleasure that this happened to Whoopi. I just want to say she's still a bigoted moron. But yes, there's some rumors at ABC that Whoopi might be leaving, and I wouldn't blame her, because she does The View as a hobby. And, The View needs her more than she needs The View, in my opinion. So if she quit, I wouldn't be mad, because the way they did her for this is dirty. I mean, there's a teachable moment. Even though I personally think that, she was wrong in what she said, like,
Black people did die in the Holocaust. Everybody knows that, right? Like, a whole lot of other people died in the Holocaust. So that's why I'm just like,
Yeah, that's why I was just like, she could have cleaned that up, but she said it so like confidently, and like she was being so cavalier about that statement. I was just like, oh, Whoopi, like, be open to like for them to like question that. But she's like, no, nothing to do with race. Like, she was really like gung-ho about that. But there's always a teachable moment in that moment for me, and I didn't think it was that extreme for her to get like suspended. So that's all I gotta say on that.
I wonder though, is the suspension, because like you've said, like, people have said things that were very inappropriate in the past, but now we are really taking people to task, and we want to see suspension, that we want to see consequences rather than just lip service apologies. So is it now that, we've had the Sharon Osbourne incident, we're having the Jenny Wen incident, like, now is it okay, we're really going to change the way we handle this, because this can scare away sponsors, this can be now it's becoming a real issue. So is it just that is it just that the networks are now changing the way that they're dealing with this, where you're not going to be able to get away with just saying you're sorry and we're all going to move on?
Well, that's the thing. When you said sponsors, that's really what it's all about. It's about the money, the coin. They're afraid about losing their sponsorship. ABC, they don't give a shit about what Whoopi said. They care about, the public opinion, and if the sponsors, start backing out from that show. That's just what I think. Oh, also, I did do a deep dive in that with my friend Jared on Poly Side Eye. If y'all want to check that out on my channel, we had a really enlightening discussion about race. So yeah, check it out if y'all interested.
Well, let's end it with the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Garcelle is already bringing it by dropping off these little tidbits of gossip every day on the Real. Like, she is filming and then heading right to set, and not spoiling the show, but she is giving full free press and promo, and I am loving it. She is setting herself up to be long running on this series, because this kind of press is going to get the Black people watching.
I agree. Like, Garcelle has a lot going for her, because she's one of the fan favorites. She has the Real, which they are booking some real like A-list celebrities. And then she has allies on the show now. Like, she has Sutton, she has Sheree.
And the second the Real got rid of Tamar Braxton and Amanda Seales, they started getting good guests, and the show really picked up steam. It's amazing how, you got rid of the two problems and the show really worked.
They got a Janet Jackson interview.
Well, that was our last story. It's been real. I will see you sooner than we hear from Janet again.
Come on, wait.
I'm going swimming.
That was a fake out, y'all. It's not over yet. We got 2 more minutes. Anyway, I think that all this Beverly Hills press is definitely calculated because when filming first began, there was rumblings that it was going to be a boring ass season because they were still trying to get Kathy Hilton to get on. So now they have all this stuff happening now, like in Aspen, and then you have Erica versus Garcelle. Yeah, like they're gonna have 10 people on this show now, like 8 cast members and 2 friends of.
Okay,
That's a lot.
A stacked house.
Yeah, I mean they're throwing everything at the wall that'll stick.
And I love that Garcelle openly said Erica should have given those earrings back. She could have done a lot more for the victims. And I mean, the truth is, it's like, okay, girl, like there's $750,000 earrings. You've got other diamond earrings. You don't really need them. I'd want to keep them too. I'd want to keep them too.
It's the pettiness for me. Like I thought there would be some type of conflict of interest with Garcelle covering Erica's business on the real. In the case of Erica's like earrings, I'm just thinking if my partner bought me a stolen like Bentley or something like that, and he passed like, or he goes to jail, I should know that I'm gonna have to give the Bentley back, because it was stolen.
Like Lisa Ray McCoy, when her charlatan ended up getting thrown in jail or, impeached from the Turks and Caicos government, she had to give the Bentley back. And wanted to keep it, brought it back to America for some reason, and then had to pay to ship it back because all he had for her was dick and bubble gum, and he was fresh out of bubble gum. Yeah, she lost her white Bentley.
I didn't know that.
To the government of Turks and Caicos. Child, they snatched that car back. You can't take your pussy back, but they sure did take that car back.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, she's another gold digger who hit copper.
Well, I think we've, reached the end of Hot Topics. I will see you sooner than that new Rihanna album.
And I'll see you sooner than I see snow.
You just had to go there. Okay.
Look, let me get ready to get in the pool.
Right. Enjoy your earthquake. Bye.